Good evening everyone, and this is our topic for today. Promotional of local and oral history and other related topics. Local and oral history. Oral history is the collection and study of historical information about individuals, families, important events, or everyday life using audio tapes, video tapes, or transcriptions of planned interviews. Local history is the study of history in a geographically local context, often concentrating on a relatively small local community. It incorporates cultural and social aspects of history. Importance of local and oral history. Oral history helps round out the story of the past. At times, an interview may serve as the only source of information available about a certain place, event, or person. Oral history helps us understand how individuals and communities experience the forces of history. How to start writing local and oral history. Number 1, begin by writing about something you comprehend well. Number 2 is avoid writing about big concepts. Number 3 is target audience for your story. And number 4 is plan before starting your piece. Number 5, place a larger historical context to your story. Number 6 is check the facts you use. Number 7 is transform the past into life.
My name is Michael Angelos. Good day to all of us, especially to you, sir. Good day. I will continue this topic is all about is the museum. A museum is the building of institution and care of the display, a collection of artifact and the other object of artistic, cultural, historical, scientific, and importance. Ang museum daw ay dito lang nilalagay ang mga collection, the past event and example of cultural, historical, scientific, and the importance. Doon nilalagay para ma-save at para ito ay para malalaman kung anong nangyari sa event, the past, and everything that what history, the past. Definition and historical development of museum. The word of museums has the classical origin in the Greek from museum. It means seat of the Moses and designated to philosophical institution or a place of competition. And continue. The importance of museum. Why important the museum? First and foremost, museum and galleries have provided insight into the history of the humankind, and while museum can claim to provide a complete picture, the lessons we can learn from the past and event. I will continue. The National Museum of the Philippines. The National Museum of the Philippines, a trust of the government, is an educational, scientific, and cultural institution that acquires documents, preserves that exhibits, and fosters scholarly study and public appreciation of the work of art, specimen, and cultural and history artifact representative of the unique cultural heritage of the Filipino people and the national history of the Philippines.
Good morning, sir. This is my report. Historical shrines. Historical shrines are small areas or monuments dedicated to someone or a place known as the site of a historical event, and it is also a place or structures esteemed for its importance and centrality as the history of the arts. Selected historical shrines in the Philippines. There are numerous historical shrines in the Philippines. First, Rizal Monument, a memorial to Dr. Jose Rizal, the country's national hero, located at Luneta Park in Manila. The monument has standing bronze sculpture with the obelisk made of unpolished granite on stone base. It was designed by Richard Kisling, a French artist. Its original title was Moto Stella, which means guiding star in Latin. The second monument, Fort Santiago. A visit to the Philippines will not be complete without going to Fort Santiago in Intramuros, Manila. It is one of the most important historical sites in Metro Manila, located within the once upon a time walled city or Intramuros as defense fortress. It was named after Spanish patron or Saint James, Santiago in Spanish. Fort Santiago was once a palisade fort of Rahamatanda. Third, the Aguinaldo Shrine is the center of the country's Independence Day commemoration every June 12, but in 1845 this is a central mansion of Emilio Aguinaldo. Underwent renovation in 1849 and 1919. An American-era Filipino colonial bahay na bato, it was a floor area of 1,324 square meters and was formerly made of wood and thatch. 4. Corregidor became a significantly historical shrine after the Second World War and is now one of the most important tourist destinations in the country. It is a tadpole-shaped isle which in the past was a simple fishing village with a lighthouse and signal station for all the ships entering and leaving Manila Bay. The lighthouse on topside, built in 1853, is one of the oldest landmarks in Corregidor. This lighthouse was damaged during the siege of Corregidor. It was reconstructed in the 1950s with a different design. And the fifth, the Balangiga Encounter Monument, located in eastern Samar and designed by the late national artist for the sculpture Napoleon Abueva, was built in 2003 as the memorial to the heroism of the local freedom fighters in Samar. To commemorate this event, Republic Act 6692, declaring September 28th of every year as Balangiga Encounter Day and special non-working holiday in the province of Eastern Samar, was approved on February 10, 1989. 6. The Bonifacio Monument in Caloocan City is an imposing shrine. A visit to it should be the must for every Filipino. This monument, designed by Guillermo Tolentino. The monument was inaugurated on November 30, 1933, by no less than former First Lady Aurora Quezon. This monument, which is considered as one of the most beautiful works of art in, in the country, and it has 23 figures depicted in the tabulous narrative of the Philippines Revolution. Among the figures are those of Emilio Jacinto and the three martyred priests, Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora. 7. Dambana ng Kagitingan, also known as the Mount Samat National Shrine, located in the summit of Mount Samat in Pilar, Bataan, is towering white cross. The memory of these brave warriors whose blood soaked every rock on this land so that the nation might endure. The Mount Samat cross stand 300 feet facing east and overlooking the colonnade. It has a cross door decorated with bas relief done by national artist for sculpture Napoleon Abueva with Lorenzo del Castillo. An elevator brings the shrine visitor to the viewing gallery, which is located in the arms of the cross, the base of which decorated with the bas relief sculpture of Filipino heroes. The story of the Battle of Bataan is inscribed on the marble walls on both ends of the colonnade, adorned with stained glass triptych entitled Call to Arms, Supreme Sacrifice, and Peace, done by the Senon Rivera. This national shrine is dedicated to the fallen Filipino and American heroes during the Second World War. 8. The Sultan Kudarat Monument is an imposing sculpture in the front of the Capitol building of the province of Sultan Kudarat in Mindanao. The monument is in honor of Maguindanao's most powerful ruler and hero whose bravery spared the whole of Mindanao from being conquered by Spain and conversion of the natives to the Catholic faith. Artist Anastasios. Number 9. In Barangay Bull, Tagbilaran City, in the province of Bohol, is the Blood Compact Shrine between Dato Sicatuna and Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, which occurred in 1565, done by the Napoleon Abueva, and the monument of commemoration of the start of the relationship of the natives of the archipelago with the Spaniards. 10. Eye-catching and emotionally evoking is the Leyte Landing Monument in Palulete. Then the artist Anastasios Quedo. In the monument of seven double life size bronze statues of those famous historical personalities: General Douglas MacArthur, President Sergio Osmeña, Lieutenant General Richard Sutherland, Brigadier General Carlos P. Romulo, Major General Courtney Whitney, Sergeant Francisco Salveron, and CBS radio correspondent William G. Dunn. The monument was inaugurated in October 20, 1981, 34 years after MacArthur and company landed in Leyte and in the Philippines from the Japanese forces, which was fulfillment of MacArthur pledge, "I shall return." The landing in Palau, Leyte, started a naval battle between the Japanese Imperial Navy and the U.S. Navy, aided by the Australian Royal Navy. And that's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is my topic: Indigenous customs and rituals. The term indigenous was derived from the Latin word indigena, which means native. It was formed by combining the old Latin term indo, which means in or within, and is most often used to describe the native inhabitants of the place. The English dictionary defined it as naturally exciting is a place or country rather than arriving from another place. This term was first used in 1646. The United Nations defined the terms indigenous in terms of persons as inheritors and practitioners of unique cultures and ways to relating to people and to environment, and who have written social, economic, culture, and political characteristics that are distinct for those of the dominant societies which they have lived. Customs, on the other hand, is defined as traditional and widely accepted way of having or doing something that is specific to a particular society, place, or time, while ritual refers to a religious service or other ceremony which involves a series of the actions performed in a fixed order, such as baptism. It is sequence of activities involving gestures performed or requested. Despite the Philippines being colonized for almost 400 years by Western power, Spain, and USA, the indigenous customs and rituals of our people survive among the indigenous living in the hills of Luzon, Mindoro, Palawan, and Mindanao. Reverence for the land of all traditional are embraced in the customs and rituals of our indigenous people, like the six ethno-linguistic people in the mountain province, popularly known as Igorots. These mountain tribes are loose indigenous groups who shared enough Soxai culture traits for most part their lives are lived in the village situated next to the rice fields. They share common religious beliefs, generally animistic, and make offerings to household. In the Philippines, there are more or less 125 ethno-linguistic groups. Each of them has its own form of indigenous rituals characterized in Bukidnon. The indigenous tribes have the Dinaclaran festival and the ritual of the Ridato. In the Himaklaran, chanting and dancing around the altar are performed by women, and the woman dance the dugso while the Belan does the chanting. The rituals can last for 6 hours to assure the best blessings of the spirits, a good harvest, or a good fortune. The Ifugaos referred to as children of the earth have unique ritual for every milestone in their lives. Farming dominance, the last Ifugaos, and during planting season, they first prepare the rice fields. After the rice sending have been sown, the fields are cleared of weeds and pests by sending have been sown. The fields are cleared. The village woman, and during the harvesting, much feasting, drinking, and singing of the hudhud or the Ifugaos traditional effects are done when the harvest is over. During the tungo occasions for home days of the Ifugaos, nobody is allowed to leave their homes and everyone is restricted from carrying out household chores. When unexplained illness befalls an Ifugao, they attribute it to evil spirits and head sectors, ancestors. Those sacrificial rites are carried out. In the event the illness spirits after the sacrificial offering was done. Akatema. The Ifugaos work death in the village with feasting and drinking during the week which lasts for as long as 9 days and as short as 3 days. Is prohibited except when the week is for all members of the village. A carabao is slaughtered by the family of then dead during the last day of week which relatives share for the midday meal, which event turns to a free for all. The rite of the three, Kaamulan, Dato, Signites, are regional unity. When illness threatened the life of Tagions, they observe under ritual known as Anituan, where the shaman and the relatives of the sick person surrounded him, her. She is covered with red clothes, the shaman and the relatives with her bows and arrows, spears and stick, driving away the evil spirit that caused sickness. The class of Zambales observed the Anituan where the shaman and the relatives of the sick person around. At dawn for that eye, they proceed to Nerbe mountain top to weaken the spirits by hitting the bolos on their shields. This step is called Kayo. At the moment sight, the elders take turn reading space of meat preserved from sacrifice made in the previous bigness to see whether luck is stored for rest on the day. After doing reading, the men go down the mountain chanting to the gods. They go other site where they believe in sacred tree stands to hold offering, site where they believe to sacred tree stands to hold offering. At the end of the ritual, the residents gather as the Dapai to receive offering from the Wong folk called Signazao. The offering of the woman are consistent by various stuff like tobacco, gin, cola, and rice wine, called tapoy. The ritual ends with much merrymaking and dancing to the sounds of native instruments such as gongs and drums.